Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 10th anime podcast Revived. Today, we're talking about something I think everyone has an opinion on. Um, Let me just read the question that I posted on the Discord earlier in the week. Okay, so as you all know, we play Waifu Wars on our Discord server. Although we call it Anime Wars, and female characters make up 9 out of the top 10 uh, of the game. What did I write? Female characters make up 9 out of the top 9 out of 10 of the top 10. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not even going to restart this intro. I'm just going to roll with it. The top 10 are attached here, but this is the question for today. Who are your top 3 female characters in anime and why? I guess you could also have included manga, but I didn't write that. So let me just quickly take a look at the top 10 characters of Waifu Wars. So for those of you that don't know, this is Waifu Wars. You roll characters, you claim characters. It's like a card game, but there's only one of each card, and there are thousands of characters, okay? So currently, my top 5 characters is Shinobu, Eren, Goku, Megumi, Fushiguro, and Katsuki Bakugo. But in the overall game, so these are just the characters that I was able to claim. They're not necessarily my favorites ever. I'm just reading my current harem, or so the game goes. Anyway, the top characters in the game, let's just mention the top 15 because that's the first page. So Hatsune Miku, she is a Vocaloid. We have 02 from Darling in the Franxx, and she was the #1 character for literally years. But the game came out, I think, around the time that Darling in the Franxx was airing. So it was kind of like the system was kind of stacked in her favor, and that's why she was crowned for literally so long. You know, despite Darling in the Franxx being a few years ago. But she was kind of like the face of the game, I think. Saber took rank 4 just for the pick and dropped to rank 5 right away after. Oh, but I'm so that's when I took the screenshot earlier. Wait. I'm in the wrong chat. Where is everything? Where did everything go? Oh, here. So I took a screenshot earlier in the week, and apparently Saber took the 4th spot, but now she's back down to 5. So it does change pretty often. So Rem is 3rd, Megumin is 4th, Saber is 5th again, Rias Gremory from High School DxD is 6th, Nami is 7th, Power is 8th, Mai Sakurajima from Bunny Girl Senpai is 9th, and the only male character in the top 10 is Gojo, Satoru Gojo. Actually, he's the only male character in the top 15 because 11th place is 2B from Nier, Asuna from Sword Art Online, Makima from Chainsaw Man, which is wild to me. Wild. Albedo from Overlord, and Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan. So those are, obviously, it's kind of like a popularity contest. And oftentimes, I mean, the anime's popularity also influences the character's popularity. And that's why I thought, just for fun, let's ask everyone what's your top 3. You can base it off of anything. Like, who do you think is the hottest? Who do you think is the best written? Who do you just like more based on their personality, for whatever reason that you decide. You can use whatever criteria. Yeah, that's your top 3, and I want to know who they are. Wild? No, that's normal. Do you mean Makima? I don't know, man. There's probably a lot of shit that happens in the manga that I can't fathom, but based on the little that I know about her from the anime, it seems wild to me. Okay. Your criteria was, who I enjoy seeing on screen. Okay, that's a good criteria. I actually haven't really made a top 3 list. I will, however, go to my Annie list and just look at my top 10 girls and confirm if my top 3 is still my top 3 and why. That's what I will do at the end. But let's start with the first answer, which is from Dontrell. He says in third place, Jakotsu from Inuyasha. She knows what she wants and she goes after it. Pretty strong and extremely loyal. So a loyal is important, clearly. Second place, Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender. She's just awesome. What can I say? And I'm very happy to say that I have watched Avatar and I fully understand why she deserves to be in second place. And then number 1 is Ymir from Attack on Titan. The girl stayed devoted for 2,000 years to someone who never loved her back. How do you beat that? So clearly for Dontrell, loyalty is a very important quality in a girl. That's fun to know. Thank you, Dontrell, for answering. I do love to see Ymir at number 1. She was definitely like a very well written and interesting character in a very well written and interesting show. The next answer is from Knox, quite a few paragraphs. I like to see that. Number 1. Okay, let me start with number 3. Can I start with number 3? 3, 2, 1. Okay. So in third place, I don't know if this ruins the way that you laid out your answer, but I'm going to take a chance here. Haruko Haruhara from Fooly Cooly. Haruko is probably the strangest choice for this list because I do not actually like her as a person. What makes her compelling to watch, I guess, is the impact that she has on Naota and how she represents toxic adulthood through adolescent eyes. I was around Naota's age when I first watched Fooly Cooly, so her influences hit especially hard for me. Haruko manipulates Naota constantly for her own goals. But because she is exciting, attractive, and pushes him outside of his comfort zone, he mistakes the manipulation for maturity and affection. As the series progresses, Naota slowly develops genuine confidence through this experience. Feels almost like a dangerous wasp woman, which fits her Vespa riding, chaotic personality. A wasp woman? What's a wasp woman? You can also see how destructive she is through characters like Amarao, whose obsession with her consumed him. I don't remember Amarao. I think I vaguely remember an obsessed adult. But yeah. And then here's a spoiler. What I love about the ending is that Naoto learns the difference between loving someone and surrendering yourself to them. He refuses to give Haruko the power that she wants, even while admitting his feelings. In the end, despite all of her manipulation, she indirectly teaches him emotional independence. But see, that's the thing. That's what I often think is very interesting with challenges in life. Like, we all can acknowledge that we've learned from the most difficult times in our lives, but it's not like, and you can find an appreciation for even like an abusive father. Like I've read crazy stories, abusive mothers, fathers, whatever, like in order to process their past and truly move on, they've had to find a weird appreciation for the person that hurt them. But at the same time, it's not something that we'd ever like wish on someone or condone. Like, if you're the kind of person that hurts someone specifically because you want them to develop in a certain way, I mean, that's just crazy, right? But obviously, that has nothing to do with Haruko. I'm just saying it's a very interesting. Whenever I read that about how, oh, she manipulated him, but in the end it made him a better person. Like, thank God, yeah, thank God he became a better person. But other tens of other people that I know about were broken because of similar kinds of manipulation. But it's nice to see characters overcome challenges like that, so that yeah, you can learn through characters rather than learning through real life experiences. Wouldn't that be nice? Interesting. Haruko is I like that description about her being her Vespa riding chaotic personality. She's definitely fun to watch, but as you said, you don't actually like her as a person. So that's cool that she's in third place. In second place, you have Isabella from The Promised Neverland. I love that. The Promised Neverland is my second favorite manga after One Piece. So always love to see some appreciation for the story or the characters. Isabella is one of the most intimidating antagonists I have seen in anime because she understands the children so personally. She knows how they think, how to comfort them, and how to manipulate them because she raised them herself. That emotional intimacy makes her far more terrifying than a typical villain. What fascinates me most is how she weaponizes maternal instincts. She acts as a loving mother while secretly preparing the children for slaughter. The contradiction makes her morally complex instead of purely evil. The first season does an amazing job showing that her twisted worldview came from hopelessness and being crushed by the system that she lived under. Despite that, she genuinely cared about the children. The only, probably one of the only shows that truly can make me think that. Like, yeah, she really cared about them. She was one person against literally the world. They were like trapped animals in cages. And she just wanted to give them the happiest life for the time that they would be alive. Whether or not they died was not up to them in a sense. I mean, up to her. Like, she had no power. That is why she's such an interesting character to me. And it's very difficult because people often like to project the same kind of feelings onto antagonists, but they almost always have choices. Like did you have to do that? Really? I understand the system is against you, but did you really have to do that? Isabella is, yeah, The Promised Neverland is one of the only ones where I literally felt like she's powerless, absolutely powerless. I don't know. That was interesting to me. Yeah. I love that manga so much though. It gets so weird at the end, but in the absolute best way that really just fits my worldview. So I was like loving. I was like, yes, oh my god, yes. um, so here, this is spoiler tag. So if you don't want to be spoiled, be careful. You'll have to mute me until I put this down. The climax of season 1 sold me on her character because it revealed how much despair shaped her. I became so invested in her story that I continued reading the manga specifically to see how her arc would end. I read the manga because people were complaining so much about the anime, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Calm down. It's not that bad. And then I read it and I was like, oh my god, it's worse. It's worse. They were right. Okay. And then your number one favorite female character is Nico Robin from One Piece. Robin is already one of the most beloved women in anime, but I think her popularity is fully deserved. What makes her stand out to me is how her dry humor contrasts with the chaos of the Straw Hats. My favorite example is, I can only imagine what is written. The docking joke in Thriller Bark. The scene is already hilarious, but Robin refusing to demean herself is what truly makes it memorable. She often acts as the straight man of the crew, which makes it even funnier when she suddenly says something really dark that shocks everyone. I also connect with her passion for history and archaeology, since as an educator, I value understanding the past. Those intellectual qualities alone would make her compelling, but she is also incredibly attractive and has one of the most creative devil fruits in the series. Oda even joked that he would want Robin's powers himself so he could draw manga faster. What completes her character for me is the calm, maternal energy she brings to the crew. She helps to balance the Straw Hats emotionally, and that kind of presence is hard to rival. Speaking of maternal energy, and that's when you transitioned into the Isabella discussion. Oof, did you watch the recent episodes of One Piece? The most recent episode, since we're talking about Robin. And I'm just gonna put this out there. I don't wanna have a fight with you, but that would have not been possible if Oda had just ended One Piece already. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. Okay. Maki. Okay, this is from Cherry. Maki from Jujutsu Kaisen. Some season 1 spoilers ahead. Cherry says, she is what teenage me aspired to be. Maki is not just physically strong, but she also has a strong mentality. I love how she chose to pursue her own path and didn't let her circumstances and her influential family stop her from being her own person. Of course, it's not as if her family's upbringing never affected her. On the contrary, she wants to prove them wrong, and this is what makes her feel so real. As opposed to an I don't care anyway, I'm just a badass type of character. She's ambitious. She never let the people who were smack talking her and her abilities define her. Smack talking. That is putting it. Oh, you came at the right time. That is putting it so lightly. She never let the people who were smack talking her abilities define her. Yes, that's true. And instead, she decided to do things her own way, and that's what makes her a badass. I absolutely love how she refused to be a victim like the clan leaders wanted her to, and instead spoke up and against them. To me, she is the most badass female character. I agree. She is super badass. And that's why I especially like that one specific episode in spoilers, but you know the newest season there it was very inspired by Kill Bill. And I just absolutely love that parallel. I think they added so much to the character just through a creative parallel like that. I can't think of another word, but you understand what I'm saying? Like I think it says so much about the character without I don't know. How do I describe this? Like you know when a character gets their own spin-off because they were just that good? It's not the same thing, but she got basically put on the same level as a character as iconic as Kill Bill. I don't really know who the main character is of that. I've never watched the movie, but it makes me want to watch the movie. Okay. In the second place for your favorite female character or best female character for your own reasons, Ritsu Tainaka from K-On! This is a choice heavily influenced by nostalgia. I rewatched K-On! At least 10 times by now, and Ritsu is always the friend I want to have. She's vibrant, loyal, and fun to be around. I feel like she's the soul of the band because she always keeps the spirits high through humor and by being enthusiastic, even if the others lose heart. She might be silly on the outside, but she's very sensitive to her friends' troubles and tries to resolve them even when they're weird problems. When they are weird problems, like Mugi wanting to be whacked. And even though Ritsu gets the ick easily when someone is being too overly sentimental or corny, she's still so kind and caring in a more low-key way. And yes, this part is what reminds me of you. I was like, that's so relatable. Like the moment you were saying she gets the ick when someone's too sentimental or corny, I was like, oh, that's so relatable. And then I see the next part and I'm like, oh no, I have to read that out loud now. Which also proves your point at the same time. Ah, funny. I never really since I watched it so long ago and it was so light and fun, I can see why you would keep returning to it and get more and more attached with the characters, but it's really nice to revisit a character like Ritsu. Mm, that's from a show that I loved, and it's like I see why people love it, but I've only had that one experience with it. I think I should put it on in the background at some point, even if it's just the music, you know? I need to remember or revisit the characters more often because they are really memorable. I miss Mugi. She's funny. And then last but not least, Cherry's favorite female character of all time, Vivi from One Piece. Where to begin? I love this girl and her personality so much. Vivi's strength lies in her emotional intelligence, compassion, diplomacy and leadership, and pure devotion to her people. The best kind of royalty that I've ever seen, yeah, in fiction. I've talked to someone who said that country leaders need to be more ruthless, and Vivi is not fit to be one. And boy, did that make me mad. What? Vivi definitely proved that statement wrong. She embodies everything that a perfect leader should aspire to be. I love how she feels deeply. Her compassion for every person in her country makes her stand out so much, and she doesn't just see them as, the masses, the ordinary people. It's easy to see a group of people as the you said it too, the masses, because it's many, but she sees every single one as a whole person with thoughts and feelings just like herself. Her selflessness and emotions don't make her weak though. She literally need to be more ruthless. She went out into the wide world by herself to find people to like help her take back her country from a madman. She's ruthless. Her selflessness and emotions don't make her weak. On the contrary, she's fierce when it comes to protecting her country and making decisions. She doesn't shy away from throwing herself into danger. She doesn't wait for someone to come save her from trouble, but actively seeks solutions. She really practices leadership. Um, she really practices that leadership equals service to the people. I think in general, 9 out of 10 freaking people in government don't realize that they should. It's a humble position. You should be in service to the people, but they see themselves as like they're often that line of work attracts people that want power and to control. She was willing. She was even willing to kill Laboon. Well, I eat bacon. What can I say about that? And the fourth place goes to Yoru from Spy Family and Fern from Frieren. So I did say, you can do top 5 if you want. Like, it doesn't have to be 3, but I would really like to more than hear who, I was interested in why. So, okay, next up is Doji's answer. Thank you so much, Cherry. I'm glad that you were here for your own answer. Vivi is definitely one of my favorite characters also. In let me quickly take a peek at my list and see where Vivi is on my top 10. Sixth place. She's in 6th place. But to be fair, at least one, maybe two, that one would actually go lower. I'm just gonna show you. So this is my list. She's there for pure nostalgia, and she would definitely, she would definitely go, sorry to say, maybe to the bottom of the list. I absolutely loved her when I first met her. But it's been 7 years, and I've on this list, she's the most simple character, if that makes sense. That feels really bad to say about someone I used to love so, so, so much. She's great, but I mean, yeah, there are world leaders on this list. So Emma's on this list, you know? So she's Anemone, I just purely for nostalgia. I should probably, this list needs to be adjusted a little bit. No Robin though. That's a problem. I agree. But the thing is, yeah, that's true. Why is Robin not on this list? This list is a problem. Momo is definitely, sometimes when a show comes out and I get obsessed, there's this thing called recency bias, and then usually I have to let it settle and look back, and like now looking back, the fact that the Robin is not on the list is shocking, to say the least. The fact that Tsubasa Hanekawa is above Nami, Vivi, and Bonnie is shocking, to say the least. But at the very least, I and Emma would be in the top 2 places. Like, that much I can say. Realistically, Emma would probably be number 1 for me, but also recency bias and Emma. I mean, I from Oshi. It's really tough to make a list, huh? Okay, but enough about me. I love that Vivi is your number 1. I didn't know that. Like, of all time, I'm surprised but not surprised. And I'm really happy that I know something that you don't. You might have your Vivi pretty soon. Okay. Let's see here. Doji's answer, I'm going to start with your 3rd, if that's okay. Or no, you have 5. Pictures of my top 5. I'll look at the pictures in a minute. Let's start with your number 5 is Eve from Stellar Blade. After experiencing the Bayonetta era and the 2-beat era, here is Eve. One thing to say about her, she is the hottest. Based on a real Korean model named Shin Jae-yoon, the character used a lot of stupid drama on the internet just because she's hot. One thing that makes her better is her origins and the connections that she has with the game by the same company of Nikki. So this is, wait, this is Eve. You can fully see that she is, like, in my mind, almost every Korean woman between the age of 20 to 35 looks exactly, maybe even 40, looks exactly like this. The ones who do Pilates also look like this from 40 to 50. So she knows the trade deal is for Monday. Lucky! But I'm so much even happier than I was knowing that Cherry will have Vivi, considering it's her favorite. It's her favorite female character of all time. So yes, this is Eve, and I did vaguely know about the drama, but it's just nice to look at her again. She's absolutely gorgeous, and I would have loved to play. What's it called? Stellar Blade. Okay, then top 4 is Princess Zelda. From Zelda Tears of Kingdom, direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, it's the most polished version of Zelda. I love all versions of Zelda in general, but seeing all of the sacrifice and the interest she showed to Link, but here I was, oh, that's the princess I want to save. Also, she has some real Vivi vibes in this one. Ooh, this makes me want to play Breath of the Wild so bad so that I can get to this one next. Guys. Recently, I have been a bit stressed out because it feels like, copyright has been quite strict, heavy. Like, they've been going around again, suspending streams. And I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened in the past, but I always go through like a little phase where I'm worried, like, what if I can't do reactions anymore? Will I still be able to do this for a living? That kind of feelings. Um, but the fact that I've been having so much fun with the game streams, and there are so many great games still out there, like the whole Zelda series, it gives me a lot of hope and excitement. So yeah, I would definitely love. Stop her. She's going to start a million games again. Not now, but I just mean like it makes me feel less scared that, oh, will I be able to do this if I can't react to shows? But I think that I will. There are like so many games out there. I could do freaking 24-hour streams and I would still not catch up to the games that are out there. Where's my... I'm looking for something, but I don't know where it is. It's fine. Anyway, so that's your fourth favorite female character for Doji. And then third is Nanakusa Nazuna from Call of the Night. This one is really special. She's the character I sometimes feel like I'm talking to. It's literally, she's like me, for real. Not in every way, but especially when she starts doing her sexual innuendos, which I constantly make in my daily life. Okay, Sotos. I also love her immature and free-spirited nature, all set in a nocturnal atmosphere. She's the perfect, cool vampire of the night. Her design represents many things at once. A chaotic gremlin who doesn't understand love and constantly searching for herself. Okay, Doji, that's how I'm going to see you from now on, exactly like that. A chaotic gremlin who doesn't understand love and is constantly searching for himself. I'm going to make a note. You can make notes on people's... Where can I make a note? I could make notes. Why there is no more note here? Okay, in the past, you could make notes on people's profiles. You know, for your own reference. But apparently they took that away. Now I can't make the note that you're a chaotic gremlin. We can't feed Doji after midnight. No flash photography. Okay, her very tactile nature and natural sensuality contrasts with the fact that the slightest topic about love makes her vulnerable and very embarrassed. It's very entertaining to watch. So this is Nazuna. I really like the design. Tsuya Kari is the artist. I remember trying to watch Call of the Night a while ago, but it came at a very bad time where I was like a little bit hypersensitive to certain topics and I wasn't really feeling the MC, like the male MC. But her character is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm vampires are just always fun to watch. Even the sparkly ones, I regret to say. Random, but I would like to see how you'd list your favorites if you cleared your whole list. I've thought of doing that. I have thought of doing a whole stream dedicated to... Well, first I would need to clear my list off screen. And then going through all the anime that I've watched, choosing favorites, choosing a top 10, it would take many hours. Okay. Let's see. Doji's second is Ryofu Hosen from Ikitosen, my first waifu from my favorite ecchi battle anime. I love her design. She's hot, intimidating, and very memorable in every aspect. She's often perceived as the strongest in her own universe. And I love characters who are designated as the strongest in general. Okay, so let's take a look. Ooh, is this her? Or... Oh, yes. This is her. Very cool. I love characters with green hair. I don't see that very often with badass characters. For girls, I often feel like an anime character with green hair is usually very meek. So it was the same for me. I started watching it when it started airing, but after 2 episodes I had to stop. Call of the Night did not come at a good time for me. That's interesting because you like the anime that put me off Call of the Night. But then again, our experience of that anime was very different also. Like, I don't know, but I kind of feel like I know why. I kind of feel, but that's a discussion for another day. Okay, and then Doji's favorite character is Shuten Doji from Fate Grand Order. This character blew me away. I literally changed my name to Doji because of her. Your online name, right? Um, I was introduced to this character through Fate Grand Order, and the first thing that immediately captivated me was her voice, dubbed by Aoi Yuki in a very sensual, elegant, and archaic way. She had never dubbed a character like this, and certainly not now, except for Shuten. Her voice is a specific mix of Kyoto Ben, the Kyoto dialect, and Kansai Ben, a very old dialect. Aoyuki loves to play it in a hypnotic and slow way. Japanese fans even say that she has a very erotic tone as when she plays Shuten. You're literally making me want to like I need to know her. Which anime is she in? Do I have to play the game to get to know her? As for the character, she's exactly the kind of character that I love. Dangerously seductive. It's so interesting like the first uh the first person who was it again? They answered like a lot of their characters were built around loyal characters. For Knox, he said that I'm a fan of Sigmund Freud. So what does that tell you? And then for Vivi, I mean, for Cherry, okay, now you're Vivi Cherry. For Cherry, yours is pretty mixed. I don't say there's one thing. You have a pretty balanced like a badass, a sweet and loyal friend, and then a great leader. I don't think you have like a key thing that. Whereas for Doji, it seems to lean towards very, I guess, sensual and confident and like beautiful woman, which is not a problem. Like who doesn't love people that are, I don't know, beautiful characters are often attractive more than just physically. It's like they're magnetic because they're the type of characters that would take care of themselves, would be confident because I don't know, but guys, I just felt like I was high for a second. I have my manga wall. It's pages stuck to the wall, right? And this is the first time I'm looking at them for real, like looking at them from this side cuz I moved my disc from that side to this side. This used to be in the background. And then the air conditioner is moving like up and down, right? So when I looked up, it looked like the wall was breathing because of the way the pages moved. It was so freaky. Anyway, I'm not high. I just looked up and like the pages were like moving. It felt surreal. Also, there's literally something in my eye and I'm not happy. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Doji continues to write about Shuten Doji that the character, as for the character, she's exactly the kind of character that I love, dangerously seductive. The character is already very popular with the artist and cosplay community, and especially FGO fans. The only downside to her popularity is that she doesn't have an anime of her own, otherwise, she would be a sensation. And it's very selective when it comes to the Fate franchises. She loves alcohol, seducing, manipulating, and above all, she can be very dangerous. After all, she is a demon. In her legend, she even ate her fellow demons. But with us, she can be tender and loyal, depending on her mood. Besides introducing me to demon folklore, I've become a fan of everything related to Shuten Doji, so all characters in her legends, especially the ship interested, my boy Kintoki, the golden boy. I see. I thought Booty and I were the only Ikitosen fans, says Akali Dignite. And Booty says also Mike, but he doesn't play much. Oh, you mean the Waifu Wars? Yeah. Doji doesn't play Waifu Wars either. So that's probably why you don't know about him as an Ikitosen fan. Which I'm really sad about. Doji, play Waifu Wars with us. Everyone that doesn't play should play. I'm joking. It's not for everyone, but as long as you don't take it too seriously and just like you go, you roll, don't you know? You claim a Pokemon, you leave. I mean, it's not you get lucky, you claim Robin. Okay, thank you so much for the pictures. That was a nice inclusion. I really like that I get to see them for especially for the ones that I don't know. Like it's nice to put the face to the description, right? Or a butt crack in this case. So yeah. Okay, Shoru is next. Shoru, I'm going to start reading yours also from the third one. So your first answer, in third place, your favorite female character of all time, Hange from Attack on Titan. One of the most unique characters in the series. I love how she balances chaos, intelligence, humor, and emotional depth all at once. Beneath her weird and energetic personality, she's someone who genuinely wants to understand the world instead of blindly hating others. One of the things I respect most about her, is that even in such a cruel world, she never supports genocide or pointless mass killing, and she always tries to hold onto her humanity. She's the type of character who carries huge responsibilities while still staying compassionate, which made me respect her more and more as the story progressed. That's a very nice summary of Hanji's character and her why she's important and unique in the story. Because sometimes when you think back on Attack on Titan, like sometimes you remember her craziest moments only. So it's nice to remember, you know, that side of her, as you said, huge responsibilities while still staying compassionate. True. Then Shoru's second favorite, Mereoleona Vermilion from Black Clover. I will try not to spoil anything about her, but she's honestly one of the most intimidating and inspiring female characters that I've seen in anime. Intimidating and inspiring. What I love about her is that the story never tries to soften her personality just because she's a woman. She's wild, aggressive, insanely confident, and completely overwhelming whenever she appears. Yet it never feels forced. She has the kind of presence where every scene immediately becomes more intense the moment that she shows up. At the same time, she isn't just strong for the sake of being strong. There's a natural charisma to her, and the way she pushes others to grow makes her even more memorable. She feels like a force of nature rather than a typical anime mentor or captain. I also like that despite how terrifying she can be, there's still sincerity and passion in the way that she treats battle and strength. Characters like her are rare because she manages to be both unbelievably badass and genuinely entertaining without losing her personality. Hmm. I've seen her role a few times in Waifu Wars, and all I remember is she's got like really intense eyes and hair. She's definitely a memorable character purely off of her design. Um, and yeah, I can't wait someday to watch Black Clover so that I can meet her. It won't happen anytime soon though, because Hajime no Ippo, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu Yu Hakusho all beat Black Clover in the race. But Ippo will be first, just FYI, since I haven't said something about that in a while. I'm still waiting for a little space on the schedule, but it should be after Mushishi. Doji says she's one of the only characters that I like in Black Clover. Huh. Interesting. And then another one for number one, Vivi. I'm only at the end of Arabasta. Oh, you're right smack dab there. No wonder. I loved her journey from the moment she was introduced all the way to the end of the arc. I really like her beliefs and the way she carries herself. A lot of anime try to make kind or pure girls feel overly perfect, passive, or cute for the sake of it, but Vivi feels different. She's compassionate and gentle, but also brave, emotionally strong, and willing to put herself in danger for her country and her people. She cries and doubts herself and struggles under pressure, which makes her feel human instead of idealized. But what's nice about that is because she's still young in that part of the story. She's not the queen yet, you know? But this is the person you want to become queen. What makes her stand out to me is that her kindness never feels fake or shallow. It comes from genuine responsibility and empathy. She's not trying to look heroic, she simply cares deeply and keeps moving forward even when she's terrified. Sadly, my friend told me she's never going to show up again, and that made me sad. Why is it always the characters I end up loving that never get enough screen time? Well, if your friend already told you that, I guess it's okay to tell you that don't take that too literally. I mean, sure, she definitely won't get enough screen time, but well, never give up hope. It's not over till the fat lady sings. If since you're all the way in Arabasta, I'm just trying to make you excited to watch more One Piece when you have time. I'm not lying to do that though. I'm just saying, don't give up. Okay, Booty's answer. In third place, Marin Kitagawa. The way she breaks the mold of the popular girl is so welcoming. She is genuine with everyone around her. It doesn't matter if they're friends, new people, popular, or the quietest classmate. Gojo. She works hard for her goals and asks for help when needed, but never tries to take advantage of anyone, even if she can be a bit of a disaster. She tried to help multiple times and felt genuinely bad when she put too much work on Gojo, usually because of a misunderstanding. Oh, that's true. The way that you said that she works hard for her goals and asks for help if needed, like yeah. Her energy is infectious and still believable when she goes crazy simping for anime and manga characters or other cosplayers. And when she struggles with her goals, despite how straightforward she is towards them, in season 2, struggling to confess despite being sure she wants to do it. Yeah, that's true. Marin's character, one of the things that I like the most about Marin's character is that she's despite being this typical popular, energetic, happy girl, she never doesn't feel sincere. It doesn't feel like an act. Like, I think that's a difficult balance when it comes to, I mean, someone that loves anime, manga, cosplaying. Um, I think sometimes it can be easy for someone to either, I don't know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I love her sincerity. It's easy for a person like her to look fake, but at the very least, when you spend a little bit of time with her, you she's one of the most sincere characters, and it shines through, right? I also like what you said about her energy being infectious, and I think that also is linked to her sincerity. Next up, your second place is Nico Robin. Probably not a surprise, as it's no secret that I have a soft spot for smart characters, and I really like the way that it's portrayed in the story. The way that Luffy listens to Robin is special. Sometimes it feels like it's the only time Luffy is really paying attention. It also goes both ways. In a crew with massive faith in Luffy, no one's faith is as high as Robin's. Once a decision is made, she's the only one who would never argue or protest. True. She knows that Luffy will make it work, even if it doesn't look like the correct path to follow. Her dark, weird humor and unique taste add so much to her character, making her special rather than just a regular smartass. It allows her to be fully integrated into the crew, almost giving off a motherly feeling. She may not always be included in the crew's daily shenanigans, but the immediate switch in everyone when she is in trouble, like everyone jumping to protect her right away against Saturn and Egghead, confirms how special she is to all of them. That's true. The massive faith in Luffy. I never really named that. Like, you know how sometimes you can be aware of something without actually like being aware that you're aware of it, you know? It's kind of like that. It's nice to hear it out loud. And then your number one favorite character, female character of all time is Ayumu Kasuga. She's best known as Osaka. She's a truly special character. Wait, what is she from? Azumanga Daioh. She's a truly special character, the definition of how to be happy. She's simple, calm, smart in her own way, and shows interest in the most basic and common things, something that we all should do more often. She lives in her own stress free world with basic goals that make her happy. While she still needs to work hard to pass a test or enter university, something as simple as perfectly splitting a pair of chopsticks will remind her that the most important thing will always be to find happiness, and she will share it with those around her, even if they can't understand it. That's so cute! I do you. Splitting the chopsticks perfectly, that's adorable. The world would be 10 times better if we could all switch to Osaka mode for 1 or 2 hours per day. True. Honorable mention to Mao Mao, another crazy but smart character that is also very aware of how the world really works, except when it comes to love. And Hinata Hyuga. I will always love a character that could see how special the MC is before he openly starts to show it to the rest. Hinata was the only one that was able to see it from the start, and I will always like her for that. P.S. Since this was Waifu Wars inspired, I have keys for all 5 on my list. Lucky. I don't. I have an Emma. I have an I key. I have an anemone key. I have an Emma key, but anemone wouldn't technically be in my top 3. Technically, like if I properly did my list. I don't know who would take my 3rd place. Robin, Nami, Vivi. The fact that Robin is not on this list, I'm still confused at myself. I feel like maybe a little part of my brain went, there's too many One Piece girls on here. But the moment we had Bonnie's whole arc, I added her without thinking about that. I feel kind of like disappointed in myself to some extent that Robin is not on here. How could I do that? Based on a technicality? Oh, there's too many One Piece girls. Like, if that, Robin should be on the list. But yeah, I have a key for Robin. I'll put her on the list just because I have a key for her. Then I also have a key for my top 3. I kid. I have to think about it. But I really like Nami and I kind of like relate to her. Like, she's very, like, she don't, you know, in my Fansly era. I look forward to the end of the video when you name your top 3. It's gonna be difficult. Okay, but let's finish up. Well, not finish, I just mean let's continue. Shoot, I thought this would be like, oh, an hour talking about waifu. Okay. Espada shared 3 pictures. That's very Espada, isn't it? favorite, favorite, favorite. Bleach, bleach, bleach. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, that's so funny. I don't really remember her all that well, but she's definitely hot. Because the reasons were the important part, so the pics would do. But you know, those are reasons even in and of themselves. I see 6 good reasons. 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. I see 3 reasons here. I see only 2 reasons here. I see 3 reasons here. 4? There's 2 thighs. Oh, no, I'm joking. But yeah, no. A picture does speak 1,000 words. Espada's apparently a furry. With that second pic. Well, her hair's not green and she's not a guy, so he's fine with anything, but not that. Wait, did I say green? I meant pink. Her hair's not pink and she's not a guy. So as long as those 2 things are not happening in the same person, he'd do. Okay, Eskiner says Rias Gremory 02 and the Queen Healing from All Summer Ranking. I have heard a little bit about Queen Healing, and honestly, that made me interested in watching All Summer Ranking, but I don't know when I will have time. That was from Escanor and Espada. And next up is Tiago. So here we go. Starting with number 4 to 5 is a really close call between the 4 that I have in mind. So I'll avoid saying the 4 if I can't choose decisively. Oh, okay. So you're just doing 3. Okay, so Nico Robin from One Piece. Watching Robin go through life does a great deal to cement the backbone and weight of her character for me. From losing her home, a big friendly giant, and community of historians, being told for decades her existence is a sin, being betrayed and turned around to gaining friends who would fight the world for her. Getting her to cry, "I want to live," and bringing a smile to her face. It's a joy to watch Robin chill with the Straw Hats, along with her occasional dark, deadpan sense of humor, showing up and laughing at the crew or Luffy shenanigans. So that is your 3rd place. Oh, here's 3 pictures of Robin. This is the best one though. She honestly has the best style, but her fringe was always it. Literally, her cutting a fringe made me cut a fringe again. How is she not on my top 3, top 5? Like, what is wrong with me? I don't know if I always kept Robin a little bit at a distance, because that was the first arc that really dragged for me in Enies Lobby. And everyone expected me to cry in that moment, so it was like maybe walls up, I don't know. Also, there are some other reasons, but maybe like that subconsciously made me keep her at a distance. I don't know. I'm trying to understand my own freaking subconscious here. Okay, next on Tiago's list at number 2 is Skathach. Skathach started as a gacha game character for me, so my reasoning will differ from anime, but she would be similar to Yoru, Forger, but less of a cinnamon roll. She's lethally elegant, hot, and such a badass at combat that she became immortal from killing countless divine spirits and warriors to defend the nether realm that she calls the Land of Shadows. She became the literal queen of the land of the dead by being too strong. Thorkel would be proud. She was also an amazing mentor, as she had a role in shaping the warrior culture in Irish mythology. And she forged the greatest heroes of the Iron Age, like Cuchulainn. Cuchulainn, I don't know how to say that, but I remember reading about him when I was watching Fate. Which also feeds well into my appreciation of the aspects of coaching slash training that I had found through sports anime, and her presence is built on millennia of discipline and wisdom, giving her an unshakable sense of regal authority. So wait, this is her in two outfits, I guess. Beautiful. The teacher of Lancer. Oh. Oh, see, I really like this visual. Fate. Then, number one favorite character of all time from the show that you sponsored reactions to through Waifu Wars, even though you don't play the game anymore. Nice to be the one who can hear you butcher names for once. Akari Kawamoto from March Comes in Like a Lion. Akari for me is probably a core foundation of mental strength and resilience, as well as a comfort character in terms of being a brilliant cook and a Japanese sweet maker. After losing her mother and grandmother, she had every reason to break from the pressure of raising her younger sisters alongside exhaustion and financial anxiety. But instead, she carried the weight of her family on her shoulders and built a sanctuary for herself and them in the form of a Japanese sweet shop, alongside the support of her grandfather and aunt to help her become the breadwinner of the family. Her sanctuary did not stop at her family, but also extended to helping out others, such as Ray during his deepest depression and a number of thin and hungry stray cats that she came across. She should be on my favorites list. Why she isn't on my favorites list? And all of this just with hot meals, a warm tatami mat, and her steady presence. No grand speeches necessary. True, true. I miss her. She's amazing. Oh shoot. Okay. I'm going to take a short recess here and also roll and do my Japanese lesson because I don't want to lose my streak. So please forgive me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 10 key. What? What the heck? Same. That's amazing. I'm not even mad. That's amazing. What the heck? He got 10 keys today? Oh my gosh, and a bocce key? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. No way. Give me one. Yeah, give me one. How many claims does Gabriel have? What is this luck? Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna start sitting slouched because trying to sit right is killing me. So I'm just gonna slouch. Do I even have a claim? Oh, I think I do. It's Vert's favorite Pokemon. He won't claim him, but I'm just tagging him because. Okay, so Val is rolling, but there's still like an hour left, and I can use bonus. Well, yeah, let me quickly do my Japanese lesson. Sorry, guys. Duo is staring at me. He sends me threatening messages if I don't do my lessons. I have to, for the sake of my safety and my parents' safety. The lessons on my phone are different than the lessons on my PC. It's like they don't update the desktop app at the same time as they update the rest. I'm gonna do this. Mistakes. A little review your recent mistakes. Write this in Japanese. Hassen and this. It's right. Hassen desu. Don't apologize to us. Apologize to Ikigai. I can't write in Japanese on my computer. I have the... Fine, I'll do this. See, I can't do kanji practice either because it's... Okay, fine. Basho.
Basho.
Japanese cuisine is Nihon ryori.
Nihon ryori.
Nihon ryori. Basho. So this is supposed to teach me... It's better on the PC versus the phone because on my phone, they make me draw it over and over and over again. But I really don't need to learn writing. I need to learn speaking. Wednesday is suiyobi. Day of the week is nanyobi?
Nanyobi.
Basho.
Basho.
Nihon ryori.
Nihon ryori.
Gakko.
Nihon ryori. Nihon ryori. Basho. Nihon ryori.
So they want you by keep repeating it in the same level. They're trying to teach you like this is what it looks like. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Nice. I can do this. Basho. 12月。12月。12. So that's December.
12月。
1年生。First year.
1年生。
日本料理。
日本料理。
3階 means the third floor.
場所。所。場。場所。
Okay. 4階。
4階。
4階。よかか。よか。4日間
4日間。
4日間. See, I knew that, but I wasn't confident in myself. I was like, how can it be 4日間? 4日間. Sorry. November is the 11th month, so 11月.
11月。
日本料理。
日本料理。
場所. What sound does this make? 日本料理. Oh, you just have to type it all together, then it works. Japanese cuisine, 日本料理。
4時間。
4時間。4 o'clock.
入り口。
入り口 is entrance and 出口 is exit, or the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. 入り口 entrance, 出口 exit. I think.
場所。
Place.
木曜日。
Thursday.
日本料理。
Japanese food. Last one. 場所. 場所. Okay. Good. Ow. Okay, rolls, done. Japanese lesson, done. You earned 3 streak freezes for reaching a 418-day streak. Oh, that's so nice. So you're telling me I practiced a lot. So now here take these things that will help you practice less. That seems like an apt reward. Okay, let me just find my comfort zone. Okay, next up, happy birthday to Vasilis! Happy birthday! Okay. I probably lost my space now. Great. Who was the last person? Tiago. Tiago. Okay. Next up is... I'm curious who are about the other 4. Can you tell us who they are in no particular order? Olivier Mira Armstrong from FMAB. Misuzu Gando from Tomo-chan is a Girl. Yoru Forger from Spy Family. And Ere Shikigal from Fate Grand Order. Excited to meet the FMAB lady. I finally started watching it. Whoa! Enjoy, Cherry. It's really good. I was always really scared of the FMAB fandom because I heard that they would downvote anything that ranks above it on a MAL. But when I was watching it, the fandom was the most chill fandom. Like, no one made... I don't remember anyone causing a problem at all, ever. Okay. But it might also be because I had no problematic opinions. But yeah, I was expecting like Hunter x Hunter level, you know? But no one needed me to call it the best anime since sliced bread. But I really loved it. It's a very solid story with solid characters and everything, and very good themes and stuff. So that's crazy because every shonen has had at least one problematic person. A few. But I remember nothing negative from FMAP. Okay, question of the week. Answered by, I don't know why I said that. Antonia's answer is next. My top 3 would be, starting from 3rd, Violet Evergarden, Rem, and Hinata Hyuga. No explanation from me, they just make me happy and I like them all. An honorable mention to Balma for being one of the longest waifu for me. Peachy is next. My top 3 would be as follows. In 4th and 5th, I will give that honor to Haruhi Fujioka from Oran for being from the first ever anime that I watched, and the runner-up, Ilya from Fate, because she was an inspiration for Clara in HSR, who was my first main. So I got attached fairly quickly. In 3rd place, Peachy says her favorite female character of all time is Nene Yashiro from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. She's a very cute and relatable girl, her being a hopeless romantic, falling for pretty looks, and being very kind, often to the point of naivete and insecurity that she often experiences, whether if she's feminine enough or if people like her. Those are the things that you like, I guess. I feel like there should be one more part to that sentence. Her being a hopeless romantic, falling for pretty looks, being kind, often to the point of naivete, and insecurity she often experiences are things that make me really love her, I guess. When I watch characters like her developing as the story goes on, it helps me to better understand myself and see how I can improve. That's really nice. I feel like when I think about it like that, Nene and Peachy are very similar. Like the best parts of them, obviously. Oh. Then in second place, Yoru Forger from Spy Family. I absolutely adore her personality against her being an assassin. Like the contrast. Plus, I adore red and black color schemes in most characters. Also, she's very beautiful, of course. And then in first place, Shinobu Kocho from Demon Slayer. She's my top girl. I adore flowery and butterfly aesthetics, so that drew me in first. Her beautiful design. Then came her personality, which is to a degree relatable, especially how she has all that repressed anger but is always smiling. Her skills in poison and medicine was a bonus, and I especially adore her battle style, which is graceful yet lethal. And the bonus reason, one of the previous wars, she was my very first key. I remember that. I'm really hoping to get a key for her. But then I hope to get a key for Mitsuri if I can trade with Nyader after that. Not relevant, but look, his birthday was on the today? It's still the 29th on my end, so happy birthday to another best girl. Ooh, also, it's the birthday of the voice actress Hayami Saori, who is coincidentally Yoru's voice actress. And Yamato. Cool. I did not know that Yoru and Yamato were the same voice actress. Okay, Vert's answer is next. Starting with, I really wanted to put phospholite on this list, but I didn't want to get too far into the weeds on if this is if the gems are female or not. They aren't. One of my top favorite characters, but doesn't fit on favorite male list or favorite female list. I think in that case they can be on favorite either list. Honestly, like if but I get it because this is more I kind of get it because they're like they have no gender, right? So since this is more about like what makes a female character special to you, since she's not really female or male, I see what you meant. Okay. So in third place, another vote for not vote, but another, how do I say, mention or nomination, I don't know how to put this. Hinata Kawamoto from March Comes In Like a Lion. Hinata is my favorite example of the heroism of normal people. She's just a kid, but she always makes the most morally brave choices that can be made. And despite the challenges in her own life, she puts the needs of others above her own. For me, the baseless optimism of a regular kid doing her best is more inspiring than a Hokage or a Pirate King style goal. Because it's rooted in very realistic. I can understand that because for some people, fantasy and stuff, it's an escape. And so the characters in fantasy, like we can learn from their lives in broad strokes. And it's just fun to watch on top of everything else. And it's very exciting, but Sangatsu is not that kind of story. It's rooted in reality. There's no magical powers, there's no grand adventures. There's family drama and depression and things that people face in a day-to-day life, like real people. So I can understand why that is more inspiring to some because it's like achievable. Asuka Langley Soryu from NGE is in second place. Asuka changes everything. She doesn't even show up until episode 8, but all character arcs and all plot lines shoot off in new directions as soon as she does. She's stronger, smarter, and better than Shinji, but she breaks more completely, fails harder, and ultimately has even less control over her life. She's one of the most brutal anime characters that I know, but she still resolves to push forward and insists that she will outshine everyone. Never thought about it that way. Very true. Still really love NGE for the way that it explores human psyche from a young age, because that's largely what shapes us, you know, our childhood. That's largely what shapes us into adulthood. Then in first place, Noi from Dorohedoro. While she is a non-standard example of the trope, Noi is my favorite force of nature type character. Other examples would be Haruko, Haruhara, and Power. She cannot be reasoned with, persuaded, or compromised with. Noi will always do what Noi wants to do. You might temporarily trick her, but once she gets back on track, she probably won't even remember that it happened. She doesn't have the character development of an Asuka or a Violet Evergarden, but I don't think there's a single thing that she does in the entire run of Dorohedoro that I don't love. I think that sometimes in stories, people put too much weight in development. Like, especially when you're watching older characters, how much more can you freaking develop? How much have you developed in the last 5 years? Like, sometimes a character is good enough as they are. And that they're freaking amazing, and why would they need to develop? Like, they're exploring the story and other themes through their already not perfect character. No one's perfect. But, like, you understand what I'm trying to say? I have not seen NGE, but my friend's boyfriend loves Asuka so much he wants a whole arm tattoo of her. That's bold. Getting a whole arm tattoo is bold no matter what you put. But a whole arm tattoo, you mean like this part of his arm, like of Asuka? Wow, that's a lot of love right there. I personally, I absolutely love people who do like sleeves of anime characters. It looks amazing. Well, the ones that I've seen. Obviously, people are not going to post it online if they don't look amazing. I would love to do that, but I'm just not a tattoo person anymore. But I like looking at it. But I really want to, that's why I want to eventually, I want to bring my poster. I want to, like, this is my expression. But I do love, you know, the people who can commit to, it's like dyeing your hair pink, but even more permanent, you know? I like that self-expression. But yeah, I'm just not a tattoo person anymore. Mainly because it hurts. And also I'm very, suddenly, since I've been wanting to get pregnant, suddenly, 5 years ago, anything that like might go into my body and affect anything on the inside, like, hold off on that. Hold off on that. You can always do a shanks if you get bored of the tattoo. I'm good. I good. I mean, he can always do that if he someday doesn't like Asuka anymore. Okay. Those are some really great reasons, like fun to read about Asuka and Noi especially, but also meaningful when it comes to Hinata. So thank you, Vert, for your answer. Next up is Akali Dignite, who I saw in the chat earlier. But on Discord, the name is Ragna Akali. Karen Kozuki. Both her personality and appearance, the romantic subplot, and fan service also helps. Whoa. No, wait, then there's Aki Izayoi. The same as the previous one. Oh, you mean the same as. Her development is better, but her presence in the story starts to fall at the end. I literally, looking at this picture, I thought that they were the same character. Are they not the same character? Is she from Yu-Gi-Oh? Actually, I can see she's from Yu-Gi-Oh! Now that I look at the accessories. But I feel like you have a type. That's funny. And then Boa Hancock. This one is simple. She's my type. Oh, your type is long black hair and tall. Because I thought your type would be reddish hair and cleavage. That's what I would have said is your type. Uh, plus her over-the-top personality makes me laugh. Cleavage is definitely your type. Yeah. And the split fringe, you know, you like the split fringe. It's fun to see the similarities in some people's answers and then how other people's answers are more like three very different type of characters, you know? Let's see. Here's a comment from Magic Man of Nojamia that I didn't see. But it's about DBS, so I really don't want to read it in this video, but I'll try and go back to it at another point. Okay. Next up is, I think these are the last two maybe. Odinoko, in no particular order. Number one is, excuse me, Bulma from Dragon Ball Z is GT. Obviously, Bulma from Dragon Ball Verse. Did I just say verse? In a world of superpowered beings fighting for the fate of the universe, I find it quite interesting that the character with the most attitude is the one who puts everything in motion and is the reason anyone gets as far as they do in the series. Bulma is the smartest being in all universes. Props to Bulma! Respect on her name! Should be in the top 10 Dragon Ball characters of all time, but it's disrespectful that she's not and blasphemous. Next up, Nico Robin, who I think has been the one that was mentioned the most so far, and for very good reason. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's funny, she's witty, she has the darkest sense of humor, and she is one badass fighter. Robin has some of the most impactful moments and interesting developments in all storytelling. We can see her arc to arc becoming more and more comfortable around the Straw Hats and regain that innocence and wonder that the world took from her so long ago. And that's as beautiful as the archaeologist herself. And then I could put more One Piece characters, but I made a personal rule not to repeat series, so... See, that's what I did, but you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. But I also understand, like... One Piece is a longer show, so it has more time to establish some of its characters. You know, like each arc of One Piece could be its own freaking show. So it kind of... I get not wanting to do it, but... After all this time, I don't think I can do it anymore. I'm definitely putting Robin on my list. I already broke my rule because I think Vivi was the only one on my list at first. Then I went through my Fansly era, and then I had Nami on my list because she was like an inspiration. And then, I mean, Bonnie and Kuma, they came onto the list together. But I have to redo my list. Okay, last but not least, Ichiko Sakura from Binbo Gamiga. Being cursed with a blessing is one of the most complicated situations I can think of, and learning to live with yourself would be enough to make Ichiko a great character. But the way that she grows and accepts that coasting in life just by being lucky is no way to live makes her amazing. Also, the anime is hilarious. I've never heard of Bimbo Gamiga. Let me take a look. Bimbo. What's the English name? Good Luck Girl. Oh, I'm hungry. At the expense of the people and things around her, Sakura has absorbed so much happiness energy that she has caused an energy imbalance in the world. In order to return balance to the world, the poverty god, Momiji, sets out to take away Sakura's ability to absorb this energy. Will Momiji be able to put a stop to Sakura's absorbing abilities, or will the god succumb to her happiness? That seems really fun. Cherry says, I also have Robin, Nami, and Vivi on my list, as well as Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Law, but I can't help it. One Piece just has the best characters. Yeah. This looks really, really good. Ooh, Odinoko gave it a 9.1. It's adventure, comedy, and supernatural, and it came out in 2012. Last but not least, Mr. Drakensnado. I'm going to start with 3. Methode. There are several other characters that I considered putting in this spot. And given how much time we have spent with her compared to other characters, Methode may be a surprising choice to some. However, there are not many other characters that I have so immediately been captivated by. So for that reason, I think she deserves this spot. I also love magic in general, so a mage should definitely be on this list. She was one of the characters that I was more interested in after the first season, and despite not getting a lot of details, I could tell that she fell into the intelligent type characters that I like. With the second season, we see more clearly that she is very intelligent and highly skilled as a mage, with great combat abilities and a calm, analytical nature to maximize the abilities. Those fight scenes also showcase how beautiful and elegant she is. And her little quirks, like being obsessed with cute girls, is also quite endearing. I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of her in the future. Mm. You could get her in the next war and then get keys for her, and then she could become your soulmate. Methode is a method. I still can't say her name. Methode. I think in the Japanese accent, it's like Methode. Anyway, that is a good choice. Maki from Jujutsu Kaisen. The word badass certainly comes to mind quite quickly when thinking about Maki. And throughout the seasons, she had many opportunities to showcase just how amazing she is, both in terms of her fighting ability and personality. What stands out most to me about her is how inspirational a character she is. Despite suffering such a hard childhood with her clan, she refused to let herself be broken and continued with a fierce determination to forge her own path and surpass the ones who dismissed her before. And then the winner, if today was a competition, the winner of the overall video is his first choice, Robin. Whether they be good or bad, male or female, I love intelligent characters in all forms of media. With her love of history, analytical skills, vast range of knowledge, and the wisdom on how to it, Robin can easily make it to the top of my list based on that alone. Her sense of humor is another thing that I love, in part because of the contrast her darker humor brings to the rest of the comedy, but also because I also have a dark sense of humor. Her quiet nature is something that I relate to. I often prefer just listening in rather than being in the thick of the conversation. Or in the thick of the waifu wars game. Okay, I'll stop. It goes without saying that Robin is absolutely gorgeous, and for me, she consistently has some of the best outfits / designs in One Piece. True. Captivated by the air of mystery with her first appearance, she quickly shot up my list as we learned more and more about her, eventually cementing herself in my #1 spot, which I can't ever see anyone taking from me. I was speed writing, so a small mistake is pretty good. Yeah, I was thinking that when I was reading it. I was like, wow, actually, you wrote this earlier tonight, so. Shota says that makes me very excited for Robin. Ooh. I think maybe I don't want to hype you up too much because it could have been part of the thing. Like, her whole moment in Eni's lobby, people expecting me to cry and this and that. Maybe like I put a wall up between myself and Robin, like not allowing myself to get attached to her because you know when everyone tells you something is amazing and everyone tells you, that kind of thing can make you, I don't know, but finally, finally when I started reading the manga, I think, and now I don't know when it started happening, but I cut my fringe because of the woman. How can she not be at my top? How emotional. In her story, so many people told Robin she doesn't deserve to live, and in the fandom, she is so loved. Take that, nameless NPCs. Yeah, she is. She is inspiring. The intelligence is like she's not just smart, she is wise. She's, and the motherly aspect, I mean, how is she not my favorite? Do you think we're getting Persona 6? I don't know. I'm very new to the Persona fandom, but I would assume so, since it's a very popular series. I don't know why my voice went high for that, but it's because I don't know what I'm talking about. Since I'm very new to the Persona, world. Okay, so I think it's time. I think that was everyone's comments. Thank you so much for giving very well thought out answers. And what it has made me realize is that my top 10 list is out of date. But if I think I don't know why, but I've recently I redid my top boys list. I'm more I guess because of all the shonen that I watch, I'm more thoughtful and I've rearranged them, when it comes to male characters. For female characters, it's like I love them when I watch the story and then I put them on and then I don't really think much about it again. The fact that Tsubasa is in my top 4 is the testament to that. Like, as much as I love her, and I'm sure if I were to rewatch the show, it would reignite, some love for her, but top 4 is honestly crazy. So I think when I was starting this list, I always said that no one would ever take Tamaki and the Nemone spots because they were cemented in there through nostalgia. But as you can see, they were not really that cemented in, were they? Because as you watch stories, as you talk about stories and characters, and I mean, it only makes sense. But like I said, I watch a lot of shonen, so the boys I've been more focused on than the girls in general. But that's why Anemone only dropped 1 spot, but let me take a look here. Favorite female character of all time, realistically, probably. I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm just gonna go with Hanekawa was your number 1 for a long while. Anemone, then Hanekawa, then I. Yeah, I think so. Shush you. I just need an Eren key to go with my Mikasa and Armin keys. Okay. And I need a Sasuke key to go with my Naruto key. Okay. It's a key situation. Espada says, I liked Nico Robin better when she was Miss All Sunday. She was more mysterious and interesting. She became generic later. I'm currently on Dressrosa. Some people do think that Robin's power is not utilized as much as it could be. She does in, hundreds of episodes. I can see why some would feel she might fade into the background a little bit. But her like story arc recently completed, and for some people who rewatches it a lot and really cares about the overall like messages in One Piece about people's lives being valuable and the importance of history. Her character is almost like, next to Luffy, the most important in terms of the themes for me. I mean, you can't really say that because, as Luffy has said, to make a full crew, you need different people with different talents, and that's, no one has to be one thing. But yeah, in a story with hundreds of episodes, I can see why any character might fade into the background for someone, but calling her generic, I feel like that's just trying to get a rise out of the chat because of how many people like her. So I won't, if anyone did feel like, don't worry, it's just a Espada. I'm joking. I think it makes sense that your male characters change more often considering how much you like and watch shonen. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so probably if I really were to think more about it, actually think about it, not think more, but actually really think about it for the first time. Like, usually I just go based off feeling in the moment. I think my female characters list is heavily recently, how to say this? Recency bias is more of an influence on my female list than on my male list, okay? So I think if I were to try and think more, but also rely a little bit on my instinct, Emma would be my number one favorite female character. Hayao. And then from here it gets more difficult. I don't need to do a top 10. I'll do a top 5. I can't really tell you why Emma's my favorite without heavily spoiling The Promised Neverland. But I love that, to summarize, to summarize super short, she wants to save everyone. She will not settle for less than the happiest possible outcome. She will, do whatever she can. And she is like the most selfless character that I've ever seen or read about, but she doesn't put herself lost in order to put others first either, in a sense. Like, there's a very good balance between that. I mean, not every single moment of every single part of the story, there are probably times where she does put herself lost. But like, it's, how to say, I don't know. And she's just a positive ball of energy, and she's so hardworking, and she's so, like, wait, I said short. Another reason is she kind of parallels. This leans into my thoughts on the series as a whole, though. Like, the end of the series, I think it's pretty, I don't know what's the right word, esoteric? That's not the right word, esoteric. Wait, let me. Oh, no, that's not what I mean. But it often describes things that are obscure, abstruse, or require an inner circle. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean at all. Everyday examples: philosophy and religion. Gnostic practices or interpretations of ancient texts are classic examples of esoteric knowledge. That's what I imagined. Like, a lot of the story is very philosophical, and it touches on a lot of religious themes, almost spiritual themes, like esoteric themes in that sense. And Emma's character, she's like Jesus. And that's funny because I was saying she doesn't put herself lost, but then at the end of the story, it's like She does, but she doesn't. I don't know how to explain it, but she... Spoiler, but it's like, in a sense, I can't, it's too spoilery. Shoru, you're rereading it. You know what I'm talking about, right? And all I can say is that you should really read it. And then you'll see why she's my number one. But let's just say the summary reasons are like she's the most hopeful, selfless, positive, hardworking. Like she's just such an amazing character. The propaganda's working. Now I want to watch TPN. You can watch the first season. The second season is not what The Promised Neverland is. It's not. It's not. It's not. And I literally read the manga because people kept saying it that, and I thought, oh my god, stop exaggerating. It's not that bad. And then I read the manga, and then I saw that it was worse. So if you can watch the first season, and if you like it, you can read the rest. You will not see The Promised Neverland if you watch the second season. It's not what it is. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, I didn't think about this beforehand, so I could have probably written something nice about Emma, but I suck at talking on the fly. So in second place would probably be I, for very personal reasons that I also can't get into because it's controversial. So I'm just gonna say I, because she is like my favorite, one of my favorite mothers, but also I'm biased for characters that sing. Like I like idol type characters. That's just a personal bias. And I love her design. I can't fully know if she's one of the characters that will be there for the next 10 years. Emma is the kind of character that I can imagine being there for the next 10 years. Robin, Vivi, Nami, those are characters that I can imagine being, you know, I'm not, it's difficult because it depends on how the anime goes. Like I is a character that's in the first season, and then I don't know if she's going to become relevant again, so it's a bit difficult to compare her with, you know, characters that I've known for hundreds of episodes. But still, the fact that she's barely in the show, but she makes such a heavy impact. Like I love her for that. And I really love her design. So I feel like if I got back to, and this is about Anemone, she is from, what's it called? Sorry. Oh Lord, how did I forget the name of the anime? It's been so long. No, I have to remember. It's something Eureka 7. Lord, it's literally the name of the main character. Okay, so she's from an anime called Eureka 7, and she's also like a side character. She's not a main character. But she made a huge impression on me from the few scenes that I saw of her, but also because at that time I was a teenager, like not a teenager, but I was, you know, your brain only really fully develops at 23. So anything before that is basically a teenager. So my point is, like, to that kind of, that me of that time, her chaos and the stuff, and it was very relatable, and I loved her relationship with another character, so I kind of like just fell in love with them as a couple also. And I feel like we didn't get to spend much time with her, so she's kind of in the same boat as with I, where I feel like if I really, for the next 10 years, would she still be where she is now? For me as a favorite character, but I think that there's a lot more to the Eureka 7 world, and I haven't really, there's movies and stuff that I've never seen. So probably if I were to actually complete and fully learn about her character, but the fact of the matter is I have only seen the one season. I only know a fraction of her story. So it's really difficult for me to put her in my top 5, honestly. As much as I loved her at the time and I want to know more about her, but at first I didn't appreciate Emma's character, but after rereading the first 3 arcs, I really love her a lot. Modru says that The Promised Neverland is one of the anime that deserves a remake the most, but I honestly don't know if I don't fully have confidence in any studio to do the ending justice, or not even just the ending. It's like the whole second half of the manga. I feel like you cannot half-ass it. It has to be, if it's gonna be made, it has to be like the people who made Evangelion. You know, they have to go full in on the philosophy and the complexity. They can't pull punches. And that's literally what all of season 2 was. The biggest pulled punch in the history of pulled punches. It's like they backed out. They cowered. That's the only way that I can. They were like, I need a pillow. So Emma and I still have a trouble fully, like, you know how Odinoko said that he doesn't want, it has to be different series. But that's so difficult when you have Nami, Vivi, Bonnie, and Robin. But I feel like Bonnie is mostly there because of recency bias, if I'm 110% honest. Kuma, not. Maybe second place, a little bit of recency bias, but not in terms of top 5. He will be top 5 forever. As long as I don't forget the emotions and the details of that arc. And if I want to drop him, I'm gonna force myself. I mean, if I want to drop him lower in my list, I have to rewatch that arc or reread it so that I can remind myself why he's there, because yeah, it's a fair personal rule. I had that rule. I had it too. But then I kind of forgot that I had the rule, and I started just messing with the rule, and look at it. It's just a chaos. But honestly, I don't know. Nami, Vivi, Robin. I can't choose a favorite. Can they all be in my second place? Is that fair? Is that no, I can't. I don't know. I should be. I no, but no, I just really love, and I can't move I for the fact that, similar to what Vert said, where I know that Oshinoko is not rooted in reality the way that March Comes in Like a Lion is, but Ai's character for me is rooted in reality. And I really love and respect her decisions. I feel like maybe I have some headcanon about her backstory, but the fact that we didn't even need to have, 10 episodes dedicated to learning about her childhood or anything. She just, in the very first episode, man, she shows up and she shows to me that that's the kind of character, that the kind of person that I would love to be, you know? The Straw Hat Queens, like how in Narnia all 4 siblings are kings and queens, but the oldest one is Great King. That makes sense. Like what if I have one favorite that's the first one, and then the other ones, but they're in the same slot. It would probably be like Nami, Vivi, Robin. But mainly because of Nami's relatability. Vivi's leadership and Robin's, how to say, her character to me, besides Luffy, is the perfect embodiment of everything that One Piece, like, she represents. Besides the main character, she is the second perfect, like, most words, Kayla, use your words. Her character embodies the message of One Piece. Not the Luffy first, but after Luffy, Robin. So for that, I really love her character. But it's hard. And the thing is, a lot of other characters, like Euphemia, she's, to me, I love her for the same reasons I love Vivi. But Vivi is better. But they're different, and they have different roles in the story, so I can't really say that. But I said Bulma and Robin, but I was also thinking 18, Chi-Chi, Nami, Vivi, Boa. You said you wanted to put Boa? What? I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I understand if I take away kicking cats, she is a great character. Cats and dogs and everything else. But yeah, she's a great character. So, and then you have other characters like Uraraka and Toga, who I like because of their dynamic, who they were in the story, what they meant in conjunction with each other. So, like, and then I definitely want to put, see, then I do something like this. Like, I want to put not Hinata, because that's the littler sister, but now I forgot her name. Hannah? No? See, how can I put her on my favorites list if I can't even remember her damn name? Like, when I read about the characters, I'm like, wow, yes, that's it. I love that character. But I've only seen the 2 seasons of Sangatsu. I can't read the manga. Sometimes it feels like characters are left behind. And so it's very difficult to say they're my favorite. And that's why recency bias often changes my list. But it makes it difficult, because if you look at these characters next to each other, like if I look at Hanekawa next to, no, I forgot, I don't remember her name, the oldest sister from Sangatsu, obviously she's the better character. So what do I do? How do I make this list? I think part of the reason why I didn't make my list is because I wanted to see how other people made their criteria. How did they decide on their top 3? Because I don't know how. She has her moments. I must have missed them. She cooks meals. What's not to love? She's a loyal wifey. She's so strong, but still motherly and feminine. For me, rewatches also cement the characters. The only reason Ritsu is in my top 3 is because I watch K-On! Again and again. And I think that should influence it. Because you revisit those stories for a reason. The characters are part of the reason. But sadly, I don't rewatch things enough. So that's why recency bias often influences my list. But what should I really make my criteria? Like, is this, Emma and I are both inspiring characters to me, you know? But, so that's why they are in my top 2. But we get to know characters like Nami, Vivi, and Robin so much more over the course of hundreds of episodes. So it's very difficult to compare them with characters like Momo that I don't know as well, but they are so freaking fun to watch. And like modern and strong girlies. Like, I love to see that. But realistically, my list would probably be Emma, Ai, Nami, Vivi, Robin. I get really like, I love long shonen because getting to spend more time with the characters means I get to know them better, not just their highlights, not just their like their day-to-day lives almost. Like, that's why you marry someone at the end of the day, right? Because I can spend every single day with you. I don't just know the highs and lows of your life. I know that, and you know, I can sit quietly with you because like you're comfortable with each other because you've spent time together. That's why I love long shows, because life is long. From one day to the next, they can blend together because they're so similar, because sometimes life just keeps going and it's monotonous, and but then you have people and things that make it like bursts of fun. And that's why I chose to marry Hanku, because I can spend every day of the rest of my life with him. And that's why I love characters. That's why I love long shonen and characters in long shonen. Because I can spend another 1,000 episodes with characters like Nami, Vivi, and Robin. So maybe that's enough. Maybe I don't need to feel like I have to justify the reasons more than that. There's a lot of characters that I absolutely love, but I don't know if I would spend 1,000 episodes with Bulma. Sorry. I would spend 1,000 episodes with Goku and that world, but I need Bulma in doses, smaller doses. I don't know. Who, if I can ask, I mean, you are over 600 already. You are not that far away. But I think we see Bulma much less than Nami, for example. In long shonen, you have characters that have great moments, but then gets pushed into the background. Let's take DBS, Gohan, or even Piccolo. Yes, but there are characters that get ruined. Like you don't have to, they can still be part of the story every now and then. I don't have to see them in every episode. Like, there are arcs where even the main character Luffy isn't even around for like 50 episodes or something. I don't remember how many, but my point is, he's woven into the story, whether he's mentioned, whether you briefly see him, you always get back to him again. And then you have characters like Gohan that just, the reasons why you love them kind of like get oversimplified, and I don't know. And he becomes like this caricature of himself. I don't know. I'm not saying every long shonen can be a longer shonen, like, but One Piece, it's One Piece. And that's why Nami, Vivi, and Robin is on the list, and not Bulma, Chi-Chi, and 18. And that's not a criticism, because both shows are different and have a different focus, and the female characters have different roles. But yeah, in a show like One Piece, I'm just trying to, I guess, convince myself that it's okay to have in my top 5 3 One Piece characters, because yeah, we spend more time with them, and No. I get that. I struggle with the reasons to add people to my favorites. I have characters that are inspiring, characters I want as friends. Some I want to protect from the harsh world, and others are hot. Lol. Like, what are the criteria? I like how Nox said that it's characters that I like to watch. I think it was Nox who said that. I think for me, a big part of the criteria is, does this character light a spark in me, and that has something to do with inspiration? But also, that's why I mentioned Hanku, because like, would I spend 1,000 episodes with this character? Could I imagine, you know? Obviously the story has some influence with that. Yeah, I think that's part of my criteria a little bit. There are characters to be passionate about, and there are characters that endear, which is why I picked Boma. And nostalgia! Nostalgia is huge. Like, Anemone is literally on my current list because of nostalgia. There's nothing wrong with whatever people chose. It's your list. Antonio said the characters that make me happy. That's enough. But as you know, it's a question of the week video. I was trying to see how other people did it and trying to think what's important to me. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna think about it, like, deconstruct it. But no one needs to do that to have a favorites list. At the end of the day, if a character makes you happy, it makes you happy. That's why I've never really bothered, like, if it's recency bias, whatever. If I like the character, they go up. If you want, we can also take a look quickly at like, so the top 10 boys, or the top 11 boys and the top 11 girls, show up on the front page. But if you go here, you can see characters that at one point were higher on my list. So for example, Mitsuri, Aqua, for pure entertainment. Like, she was like inspiring and gorgeous because she's strong, but she's so feminine. So I loved her for that. Aqua is absolutely hilarious. I loved her for that. Her personality was just entertaining, and I really liked her design and her style. Badass, strong, for the same reasons that Shoru said. Like, her story and her role in the story, very intellectually stimulating. That's about, I don't know, like the word stimulating. Mikasa, Shino. Mikasa, especially in the first 3 seasons, absolutely loved her. Later, I feel like there wasn't enough time to properly explore the history of her character and her role. I feel like a lot was left up to interpretation, which I think is fine, but it did kind of like drop her on my favorites. Shino, what? I've just forgot her name. I just looked it up. Shino. Jeez. I just think that her voice was so like mesmerizing to me. Nadeko for I don't know. Lots of the Monogatari girls at the point I just loved for because they were fun and entertaining. And yeah, those are some girls that used to be higher on my favorites list. Then we have a bunch of boys that at one point were in my top 12. Juvia was also at one point in my top. Fairy Tail girls sadly kind of got replaced pretty fast because they're not as yeah, I don't know. They're Fairy Tail girls are very light and fun. Fairy Tail as a whole to me is a light and fun show. Like, it kind of, when I started watching more and more anime, I think it was out impacted. And so the girls, except for Natsu's character, the girls kind of like were out impacted by by other girls in anime. 02 was high for a while, but I don't think she was ever in my top 12. Not sure. Tatsumaki was in my top 12. I liked her strength and like that maybe at one point I was into tsundere or something. But yeah. I have many characters like I love fairy tale girls, and I love My Hero Academia girls. I love Monogatari girls, but top 10, you know, that's difficult. You have to really break the mold in some way. I think I would probably at some point I would love to add Norman to my top 12, but in some ways Emma represents the main three. Okay, but I'll rearrange my list a little later, but I think that's probably the most accurate representation of my real favorite girls. Emma, Ai, Nami, Vivi, Robin. Maybe at this point, Robin, Vivi. Maybe. But honestly, they're pretty much on the same level. I'm literally splitting hairs in order to put them in an order. And then I want to say, wait. I want to say her name, but I can't remember her name, so I think that's not really a true answer. But just the fact when I read about her and I remembered her role in the story, and when I think about Sangatsu, I'm like, yes, she deserves it. But I might feel that way with a lot of girls if I reread stories, you know? But seriously, in terms of a real world freaking saint, she should be on the list. Akari Kawamoto. Yeah, she's amazing. Also, like a person that like people should aim to be like. I want to aim to be like, you know? But she's too soft for me. I can't really imagine myself being as soft as her. She's strong like in terms of her spirit, but I'm just saying like her personality is too soft for me. I could never really be like her. I would have to like actually change who I am as a person. Okay. So, I'm hungry and I feel like it's a little bit late to start Ikigai now. I feel like I could probably stream for 30 more minutes before I absolutely have to eat, but I also don't want to rush Ikigai. Next question of the week, top 3 characters you hate. I'm trying to avoid controversial topics. The last videos drained me, Cherry. No! Top 3 characters you hate? No! I don't think I wanna. Cause someone's gonna say Luffy and I'm gonna flip my disc. No, I'm good. I'm going to cancel friendships in that video. For real. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't cancel friendships, but I would suddenly, mysteriously talk less to you. Probably. I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Espada, are you on the way to sleep? Is that why you're saying, oh, well? Oh, maybe Peachy is on the way to sleep. Sangatsu. I always want to watch it, but I'm scared it might be too sad. No. It's not too sad. It's one of the stories that focuses on the hope much more than, you know, dwelling on heartbreak or anything like that, or heartbreaking things. Top 3 characters you wished you like? That's an interesting question. Top 3 anime I wished I liked more. I could answer that. Top 3 characters I wished I liked. Vegeta. But I like Vegeta more now. I liked his role in the story before. Oh, shoot. Who rolled? Wow! Look at all those wishes. Nice. Damn, you're having some great luck in the war. Wow, how did you get it? On Peach's Rose, this is your secret wish. She is the first character of the server to have 10 keys. So the first chaos character. I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, Itsuki Nakano. Followed by Neferpito, Origami Tobiichi, Bon Clay, Yamato. I love that the first 5 characters were all top 1k. And then we have Iroha Ishiki, which is not top 1k, but still very close. And then, of course, Yamato as the first soulmate, meaning 10 keys with 1 person, booty. It's not a secret. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Oh, literally the only name that is fully typed out for some reason. DGBV Espada. And my brain went bleep. Cannot see Espada. Was it? How did you do that? Blip, blip. I'm stupid. Oh. I've only been streaming for 3 hours and 40 minutes. And I really wanted to get the question of the week, and I really thought that I was going to. We always have Sunday after the manga read along if I don't rant again. Is anyone mad at me if I go to have dinner now and do Ikigai Sunday? Not that I can promise anything. Or top 3 characters you would want to meet in real life. I'm married though. That would definitely influence my answer. I'm joking. Emma, I would adopt her. Bakugo, I would adopt him. I just want to adopt people from anime. Like, might. Go eat. Something other than he literally, I asked him, please, can I have some small bites? I'm hungry. I meant the dinner. He brought me cucumber. Cucumber. I'm living off of cucumber in my belly right now. For the last, what time did I have lunch? At 3? 3:30ish? Then, before Dorohedoro, I had a handful of nuts. Then, before this video, I had a handful of cucumber. Like, he doesn't even know me. Cherry says, oh my gosh, Denji. I will adopt him and cook him good food. That first episode of Chainsaw Man, oh, it killed me for that. Like, Denji. I will cook him good. That's hilarious. Cucumber is mostly water. I know Hanko wants me to drink more water, but this is not how he was supposed to do it. Look, there's water. I'm drinking it. Vegetables make me hungrier half the time. I wouldn't say hungrier, but it doesn't keep me full for long, that's for sure. Look at, this is why I can't have a fringe, because I keep touching it. She's touching me! I'm not touching you, she's touching me! That's my fringe. Probably like screaming, but he can't get the word out, so he's just like, ah. Sorry. That's how ramen is for me. Noodles and soup? It doesn't, oh, I see, yeah. Not so filling. Okay, but that was a really fun topic. Thank you so much to everyone who answered. How do you guys, That's what I wanted to ask earlier. Is there, you don't have to answer now, maybe on the video later you can comment, but were there any names that you expected to see on my favorites list? Are you disappointed with the results? That's a weird question, but I'm just curious. Like, did I not give it enough thought? Do you think? Did you want to see more variety? Modru, why do you hate me? So yeah, I hope you guys had a good time. I definitely enjoyed everything tonight. The Pokemon, the random videos that while I was eating my cucumber, a little bit of Waifu Wars rolls in between. So yeah, I definitely had a nice time. Before the stream, I did react to Slime Isekai Season 4, Episode 8, which was so fun. Really excited for next week's episode. And the finale of Dorohedoro was so good. But the whole season has really just been banger after banger. There was no boring episode with Dorohedoro, and the last 2 episodes were no exception. And I'm very, very happy that they immediately announced the next season. And I hope that we will not have to wait as long for it, but I highly doubt it. So, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow, though. Yay, Modru, enjoy it. As if I wasn't aware of the list for Waifu Wars for trade purposes. Thanks for the fun stream. Looking forward to your slime video. Best of luck, everyone. And thank you for the stream. Enjoy your food and sleep well. Thank you, Dark Shadow. And I'm so glad that you got your answer in time. I'm sorry for kind of like doing it a bit earlier than usual, but I'm glad because I kind of want to post this before Sunday's manga read along. But yeah, hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. I know Modru has a graduation party. Espada has a finishing trip. But hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow for Genshin and Pokemon. It's gonna be fun. Thank you, Cherry. I love this question of the week. I don't know if I'll join tomorrow, but I will definitely be here Sunday. Enjoy your night and stream tomorrow. Fishing! I actually think that fishing trip sounds so fun. But Hanku is the kind of person that wants to fish like next to a river. I want to go like fish in the ocean. Even though I know that I said before that I'm like being too far away from the shore scares me, but at the same time, if you're in a big enough boat, I don't know, but fishing in the ocean sounds cooler to me than fishing next to a river. What kind of fishing trip are you doing? River or ocean? You may reach your final form tomorrow. How are you going to miss that? Final form? Oh, I don't think so. Leveling up Dragonair to it's Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. Leveling up my Dragonair to Dragonite, I feel it's going to take a long time. And tomorrow, I really want to prioritize in the 3 to 4 hours of Pokemon after Genshin. I really want to prioritize catching Pokemon more than leveling them. Because leveling them is hard. Deep sea fishing can be tiresome since some fish are so big they can take over an hour to reel in. But then when you have it, it's a hell of a fish. I had a friend that caught a marlin and took him 2 hours, and he had help with the people who ran the fishing boat. Okay, well that just kind of makes me feel sad for the marlin, actually. You know what? I don't want to go fishing anyway. I don't want to. I just want to go to the ocean. You know what I really want to do? Probably I want to go whale watching. That's what I should do. You go on a boat, you have a nice day, you drink some drinks, you eat some snacks, you watch whales. Who cares about fishing? I asked Hubby for an anime related question and he went, I'd ask them if they could cross over to anime, which would it be? That's a fun topic. Write that down. That was a really good idea. Send it to me. That's a really good one. Wait, actually, hilarious that I have my notepad right in front of me with ideas. If you could cross over any two anime, which would it be and why? Tell him thank you. To visit your people? Yes. To finally be with the ones who raised me. The whales. As someone who lives in Switzerland, it's unfathomable to me that you can just step outside and walk to the ocean. Yeah, like in 10 minutes. 10 minutes! Ocean. I tried to do it at a lake 2 years ago, and the bug that suck blood were so many you could hardly breathe. Wait, you mean leeches or mosquitoes? Oh, the bug. Oh, a leech is not a bug. I just imagined you walking through like a swamp and for some reason leeches sticking to your legs. I don't know why. You literally said lake and not swamp. But mosquitoes. Ugh. Dragon Ball Super with Naruto so Zeno can wipe out the Naruto universe. Why so hateful? Okay, but I have some good questions for the next few videos. We just finished top 3 best girls. The winner being Robin. For good freaking reason. Another question. Is there any character that you were surprised wasn't mentioned in the video? Not on my list, but in the video. I'm surprised that we didn't get a single One Punch Man answer. Like no girls from One Punch Man. Give me a second. We didn't get a single My Hero Academia girl. Espada gave 3 Bleach girls, but no one else did. We did get Shinobu, so 1 Kimetsu girl. We got Hange from Attack on Titan. We got Asuka from Evangelion. I would have liked to say Toru from Fruits Basket. I did really love her character, but I think I love her character more in the context of that show. Like, it's outside of the show. She's lovely and it's like, she's a lovely girl, but there are characters with those traits that kind of outshine her. Like, Akari from Sangatsu. Did we have anyone say Frieren? We had Fern. No one from, I don't think there was any Fairy Tail girls. I don't think there was any Konosuba girls. So entertainment doesn't seem to be as much of a factor compared to, I don't know. I think I should take some time and think about that. Like, what was the criteria that people generally focused on? Some of it, there was a little bit of nostalgia. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think anyone, like, everyone has their favorites, and I liked all the variety that we got at the end of the day. No Frieren, no Saber, no Megumin. The Konosuba girls are hilarious, but you'd want to be... We did get Rias. I think Escanor said Rias. No one said the best Bleach girl. Charlotte the Cool Horn. Yeah, Sotos wasn't here, so he couldn't. No one said Emilia, but Ray wasn't here, so... Someone said Saber in the chat. Ooh, true. Ooh, someone said Rem. Rem was mentioned. Yoru was mentioned. Momo wasn't mentioned from Dan Da Dan. But yeah. So I guess for me, the most surprising one was probably the fact that no fairy tale girls, none. But I do think that's because they're more light and fun. But unless it's for nostalgia reasons, I understand why. Sailor Moon, yeah, no, say we don't have big Sailor Moon fans in the community, it seems. Modru, did you give your top 3? I don't think I remember reading your answers. I hope I didn't miss them. I didn't have time this week. I was busy. You didn't have your PC. I can look up your favorite girls though. So we have Mizore Shirayuki from Rosario to Vampire. We have Erza Scarlet, so there is at least one fairy tale girl, and Mocha also from Rosario to Vampire. So there we go. A fairy tale girl. Whoop whoop. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. I'm Tanya. Like to see Tanya in the top 4. Okay, now seriously, my stomach is starting to eat itself. So thank you guys so much. Dark Shadow, Tiago Espada, Modru, Hunter, Odinoko, Cherry. I really loved spending time with you guys. And I look forward to the next question of the week. Have a good sleep and see some of you tomorrow. If I don't see you, have a super great day.